Dissemination is such an important part of the job, and it doesn't get the attention that it needs quite often. So for me, it's really a pleasure to take a little bit of my time and dedicate it to dissemination of the results and trying to engage with stakeholders, because I think we need a lot of interactions between science and policy. So I think the more we do that, the better.
I set up a series of seminars and meetings, and I presented all of the tools like Gamnish and InPerform, these tool sets that our partners have put together for supporting IEAs, and sold the idea of what an IEA is and how these tools can help along the process. And then the other side, I set up seminars with policy advisors, managers, and policy decision makers. And so that was talking more about the outcomes of an IEA cycle, how things actually get operationalized and can be utilized, sharing Mission Atlantic's tools and experiences.
We've had a series of workshops with policymakers, government and fishery managers to disseminate this work and work with them to co-develop potential closure areas, and we've also produced technical reports that will be disseminated to these stakeholders.
We have done online workshops and also in-person workshops, and we have developed the website, and we have also done this type of flyer where we explain what is the tool, the main applications, the process to apply the models, and why to use it.
Today it's a prototype, and to make sure that that prototype is developed in the right way, we have presented it in many different contexts. We have regular meetings with a range of stakeholders and managers. We have had workshops, mostly with academics, where we have also presented the work. And we are also introducing it to the ICES system, because it's really mapped on what ICES is doing, so that ICES can maybe take it no longer as a prototype, but as a real tool that ICES has in its own package of tools.
Because there's been such a large-scale shift in national policy and international policy, particularly in Europe, to try and meet our climate targets, there's been a big push to develop offshore wind. We engage directly with people to understand their requirements and to try and inform them of how the data and the mapping products we generate can help them to develop and meet their targets.
We've been running demonstrations and workshops as part of the Mission Atlantic for this Strap E2E web app, the interface. These have included going to European Maritime Day, to the ICES Annual Science Conference. We were involved in the Mission Atlantic Intergist Summer School, and we put on a few ad hoc workshops as well for things such as the MASTS Policy Workshop in Scotland, but also going to the Youth for Ocean Forum as part of the EU Ocean Coalition, and allowing young ocean advocates to see our model outputs.
One of the things we did was to participate in the scientific committee of the fishing agreements between the European Union and West African countries. We presented this global assessment, and for the first time the committee included in the report a recommendation to carry out an integrated ecosystem assessment in the region based on the results that we already had from Mission Atlantic.
Technical conferences and workshops where we disseminate the results in papers and talks, but also looking for interesting groups that have often other ideas than we have, what they want to do with such a tool.
We've done quite a lot to try to promote this idea throughout the shipping sector. And one of the ways that we've done this is through participating in the Global Maritime Forum Summit, which was in Tokyo. And so I was able to share some of these approaches and opportunities for the shipping sector to adopt an ecosystem-based approach.
So I think in the future we will try to work to keep this community together around some of these integrated ecosystem assessment approach, and try to mobilize the policymakers and decision makers to allocate support and funding to perform research around those topics, maybe in new areas, and expanding the case studies that we have used so far.